Autoparts also supply Maxxis tires and CST tires.
Really? But where are they found?
They are found on Chandram Sonda Road, Cruiser Auto Workshop in Lusaka. Call on 0979 192057 and 0960747235. Email shumaautoparts@gmail.com. Shuma Autoparts for all your genuine vehicle parts.
The happy world of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening. This is the 5FMA News at 18:30 with Judith Mwape. The headlines. 8 PF cadres apprehended and detained. RIA signs 62 memorandums of understanding with local authorities. And now the news in detail. Police have apprehended and detained 8 unruly Patriotic Front cadres for the alleged offensive conduct likely to cause a breach of peace. This occurred at Patriotic Front Party Secretariat along Panganani Road yesterday around 18 hours. Police spokesperson Ray Hamonga explains that brief facts of the matter are that Patriotic Front cadres who had gone to the party secretariat became unruly. Alert police officers managed to apprehend 8 of them and calmed the situation. Mr. Hamonga says the suspects will appear in court soon. And in a related development, Mr. Hamonga says it has not recorded any incident of shooting involving Andy Luki Jr. as alleged on social media, resulting from the fracas that happened at the PF Secretariat yesterday. Mr. Hamonga has warned all those that want to cause chaos that their actions will be met with the full wrath of the law. Green Economy and Environment Minister Collins Nzovu says African countries are working together to utilize the resources in the generation of solar, wind, and hydropower and in providing e-mobility solutions. During the pre-COP28 bilateral meeting with Dr. Sultan Ahmed Shaba, COP28 designate President and Minister of Industry and Advanced Technology of the United Arab Emirates, Mr. Nzovu said over 600 million people in Africa have no access to modern clean energy. He said this is a misnomer because Africa is richly endowed with solar, wind, and water resources, as well as mineral resources such as lithium, graphite, and copper, all of which are critical for clean energy transition. Mr. Nzovu said Africa has special needs and circumstances that contribute to impeding the attainment of sustainable development of the continent. He said it is therefore gratifying that this item on Africa's special needs and circumstances has finally been included on the agenda and will be deliberated on during COP28. Meanwhile, during the pre-COP28 bilateral meeting with the RT Honorable Graham Stewart, Minister for Energy Security and Net Zero of the United Kingdom, Honorable Nzovu said there is a need to continue fostering the relationship between the two countries in various sectors, including manufacturing, commerce and trade, agriculture, energy, mining, education, and health. This is contained in a statement issued by the Ministry of Green Economy Communications Unit. The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, has procured 478 hospital beds and mattresses aimed at beefing up bed spaces in public health facilities across the country. Also purchased are 18 3D ultrasound machines. Agency's Senior Public Relations Manager Bradley Chingobe is confident that these state-of-the-art machines will help in the monitoring of pregnancies, detecting cancer, and many other medical conditions that affect the Zambian masses. Mr. Chingobe explained that these commodities, valued at a cost of 14 million kwacha, were procured from Kenocos General Contractors and Supplies Limited. He said the commodities have since been subjected to a quality assurance test by ZAMSA and will soon be delivered and installed at designated health facilities in different parts of the country.
Are valued at a cost of 14 have since been subjected to a quality assurance test by ZAMSA and will soon be delivered and installed at designated health facilities in different parts of the country. ZAMSA recognizes the challenges posed by outdated medical equipment in many of our public health facilities. Our agency remains resolute in its commitment to improve the quality of healthcare services provided in public health facilities, and this is by ensuring that health facilities are equipped with the necessary resources to meet varied healthcare needs.
Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Vice President, Lydian Kapusana, has appreciated the growing attention toward food and nutrition by local and international stakeholders. Mrs. Kapusana has since urged the stakeholders to ensure that they raise awareness about the dangers of malnutrition across communities. She said this during the 14th Africa Day for Food and Nutrition Security commemoration and 19th Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program partnership platform in Lusaka this morning. The Permanent Secretary has added that there is need to ensure that sustainable measures on how to reduce all forms of malnutrition in Africa are formulated so that the livelihoods of the people are improved.
Accomplishing this, Africa is further positioning itself and giving food and nutrition the necessary attention it deserves through programs such as Scaling Up Nutrition, 1,000 Most Critical Days, Phase 2, and many others. In Zambia, I wish to state that all actors that play a critical role in improving the country's food and nutrition status are on board, from national to community levels, as one example.
And speaking at the same event, African Union Development Agency Director Estherine Fortebong commended the efforts that stakeholders in various countries are putting in place to improve food security.
The crisis we face today are a reminder of the urgent need to accelerate the implementation of CADA. We have 2 years to get to 2025, and there is still much we can do before we even start reflecting on what we want to do post-2025. Let's accelerate action to 2025. Our continental framework for agricultural transformation and agricultural-led growth strategy to achieve our ambition target on food and nutrition security.
Secretary to Treasury Felix Nkulukusa has called on financial auditors to embrace information systems in order to enhance efficiency in their operations. Dr. Nkulukusa has since emphasized the need for change to the traditional ways of auditing to which the majority of auditors are accustomed. Dr. Nkulukusa says the old ways of looking at huge files, ticking each payment voucher, and assessing controls manually by following an audit trail must be a thing of the past. He has further underscored the need for financial auditors to learn how to assess information system controls through auditing in an automated environment. He said this when he officiated at the AfroSci regional workshop on assessing information system control in financial auditing, whose objective is to introduce and equip financial auditors with skills to assess information systems that produce the financial statements. The Zambia Army has launched a television channel dubbed Buffalo TV, which will allow citizens to gain valuable insights into their works through the unique content they will be providing. The content will air on Movie TV satellite service. Speaking during the launch, Zambia Army Commander Dennis Alubuzwi says the launch of the Buffalo TV resonates well with the Zambia Army's commitment to innovation, transparency, and dissemination of accurate information.
The Buffalo Television channel will play a pivotal role in showcasing the bravery, professionalism, and dedication of our troops. We will highlight their sacrifices, triumphs, and their unwavering commitment to safety and security of our community. Through documentary series, live coverage, some of the latest exercises, interviews, and news reports, we aspire to create a comprehensive picture.
Meanwhile, Independence Broadcasting Authority Acting Director General Eustace Nkandu has called on other defense and security institutions to take advantage of this platform by partnering with the Zambia Army to ensure they also provide content that will enhance information flow about their institutions.
For a long time, the Zambian Army and other security wings have been perceived to be closed-up institutions with less information about them. Thus, the provision of content on movies, TV satellite, and other platforms will therefore allow citizens to gain valuable insights into the work of the Zambian Army and other police forces.
Speaking at the same event, Movie TV Chief Executive Officer Sidlitz Nkonjera says this partnership is for content sharing and it will showcase the best of Zambia Army talent, including drama, comedy, documentaries, music, and sports programming, all by officers and soldiers of the Zambia Army. In other stories trending this evening, a governance expert and human rights advocate, Wesley Mianda, says former President Edgar Lungu's bouncing back to active politics is welcome because he has his own constitutional and democratic rights to do so. The Lusaka City Council has successfully prosecuted 76 people for various offenses ranging from street vending, noise pollution to trading without certificates of compliance. Up next, business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business. Keep you informed about business.
Electrification Authority (REA) has of 62 memorandums of understanding with local authorities in the country. The latest MOU has been signed today with Lumezi Town Council, aimed at implementing the priority rural electrification projects. Speaking during a signing event at the authority's head office in Lusaka this morning, REA Chief Executive Officer said the authority stands ready to work with the local authority by providing technical support for the implementation of priority rural electrification projects financed by the local authority in Mulobezi constituency through the Constituency Development Fund. And Mulobezi Town Council Secretary Isaac Zimba said about 50% of the district has no electricity, adding that the local authority was implement projects under the MOU which was signed.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And now in foreign news, a convoy of United Nations peacekeepers from Chad has arrived in the Malian city of Gao as part of the nationwide withdrawal of the force. The troops had driven hundreds of kilometers from outposts in northern Mali, in Tessolit and Egwohok, in what the UN called dangerous conditions. They were forced to travel by road, partly because the authorities refused to give clearance for flights. Here's Rwanda from the BBC.
A convoy of United Nations peacekeepers has arrived in the Malian city of Gao as part of the nationwide withdrawal of the force. The troops had driven hundreds of kilometres from outposts in northern Mali in what the UN called dangerous conditions. They were forced to travel by road, partly because of the authorities refusing to give clearance for flights. Authorities in the German city of Hamburg now say at least 3 people have been killed by an accident on a building site. Rescuers are searching for others feared trapped after scaffolding collapsed. Hundreds of workers have been evacuated. A legislator for Germany's far-right party, the AfD, has been arrested after neighbours reported hearing shouts of Sieg Heil coming from an organisation where he's a member. Japanese scallops held up by a Chinese import ban have reportedly been bought by the United States to supply its military in Japan. Beijing banned Japanese seafood on food safety grounds in August when treated wastewater from the wrecked Fukushima nuclear plant started being released.
And finally, in sports news, Zambia has become the first African country to pilot CAF's newly introduced club licensing online platform that will kick in during the 2024-2025 season. And Vice President Andrew Kamanga has urged Zambian Premier League to fully comply with the requirements of the CAF club licensing regulations and avoid attracting penalties from local and continental bodies. Kamanga has urged clubs to be proactive in enforcing club licensing requirements as opposed to waiting for punishment from judicial bodies. He was speaking when he officially opened the club licensing online platform Officers National Workshop at Golden Peacock Hotel in Lusaka, where 18 MTN Super League chief executive officers and general managers have converged for the 2-day workshop. From the 2024-2025 seasons, the use of the club will be mandatory for the processing of club licensing applications for participating in CAF inter-club competitions and domestic competitions. And that sporting item brings us to the end of the news this evening. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. Eight PF cadres apprehended and detained. Reassigns 62 memorandums of understanding with local authorities. Withdrawing UN troops in Mali make dangerous road trip. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Happy World of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. I'm Judith Mwape. Good evening.